It's a well-established TTRPG trope to have your first session take place at a bar or a tavern of some kind. Given that this game is set in the 1920s and Prohibition is in full effect in the United States, that means speakeasies. And who doesn't love a good speakeasy? Hibbs Roadhouse has a front that sells a pretty standard assortment of sandwiches and sodas. But through the door on the left, in what appears to be a storage closet, you'll find a bar serving a nice assortment of moonshine liquor. In here, Arkham's seediest characters gather for a drop of the hard stuff. There's some real lowlives here, some real pieces of... Oh, hey, look who it is. Ulysses. Looks like he's waiting for somebody. Somebody was late. Nothing for her right now, she's waiting for someone too. Nervously, she reaches for a note in her pocket. A mysterious stranger handed her this as she was making her way through downtown Arkham. She didn't see their face. A hand taps her on the shoulder. Leslie has a sharp ear, and she could have sworn she heard something very interesting just now coming out of that strange man's mouth. The two of them are speaking in hushed tones. To confirm her suspicion, Leslie will have to perform a skill check. Leslie's player rolls a D100, hoping to get a result lower than what she has in the listen skill. She succeeds. Leaning forward, she's able to make out the phrase in her native French. Coute de Gaulle. The Coute de Gaulle is an occult tome Leslie has a vague awareness of, but it doesn't take a genius or even a French speaker to put things together here. I mean, here she is just talking about French cults, and right next to them somebody's talking about a book cataloging our activities and methods. Clearly, this is divine providence. Leslie failed the check, but she wishes to try again. She attempts to push the roll. She can roll another time, but will have to accept a negative consequence if yet again she fails. Ulysses begins his story. Over the years, Ulysses has developed a friendly relationship with several Miskatonic University staff, attending big events, giving guest lectures, etc. Recently, while attending a fundraiser, he was introduced by his lady friend, Florence Foster Jenkins, to Professor Charles Later. The two hit it off immediately, eventually retiring to Ulysses' estate for further drinks and conversation. As the night wore on, the conversation turned to the macabre, and later let it slip about something very interesting. Miskatonic U requested for him to assist them in the assessment of the papers of the late Joshua Hobhouse, the last in the family line going back to Arkham's founding. His house, a colonial home located in the outskirts of town, had proven to be a treasure trove of diaries, historical documents, and artifacts dating back to the 17th century. Among these papers later had discovered a French text entitled Call of Cthulhu, which he determined to have been written in the early 16th century. His curiosity piqued, Ulysses lamented the fact he knew not a word of French, but later offered a solution. He could translate the text to English if Ulysses were willing to compensate him for the work. The two of them made an agreement that night, with Ulysses paying later an upfront fee right then and there. That was 2 months ago, with not a word from later since then. All attempts to reach him have failed. Frustrated, Ulysses resorted to using a shady contact named Montana to get some answers from the man. Ulysses had intended to read the translated pages with his lady friend, but simply couldn't wait. What he read was ghastly. The activities these degenerate cultists had engaged in was unspeakable. All manner of deviancy, not least being ritualistic murder, and what they did to the bodies. It was all too much. Surely this couldn't have actually happened in the streets of Paris, could it? Reading further, the book became utterly surreal in its tales of bizarre rituals that gave the cultists powers. Eventually, it simply became too much for poor Ulysses' mind to bear. Our three investigators make their way to Miskatonic University. The campus is buzzing with activity, everyone excited to see the new facilities. This place cost a pretty penny, something Ulysses, the recipient of dozens of donation requests, is painfully aware of. Looking around, Ulysses is unable to find either the professor or his lady, so he asks a faculty member if they've arrived yet. Luckily, the professor lives close by, right up Crane Street. The trio rushes towards the sound, but too late. They see a distraught Miss Jenkins forced into a car by two gun-wielding men. Oh, Ulysses' automobile. Ulysses is a man of exceptional taste in cars. Only the finest of vehicles would do for him, and this vehicle is fine. The Pierce Arrow Series 33 runabout. With its dual-valve 6 engine generating 100 horsepower, this baby can hit top speeds of 75 miles per hour. A chase is on. Here the players pit their skills against their opponents in a high-stakes contest. In this case, the skill is Drive Auto. First test, a sharp right turn down Boundary Street. Both Ulysses and the criminal succeed. Another right down River Street. They succeed again, but Ulysses is in the faster car and is gaining. A left onto the bridge spanning the Miskatonic. The crooks fail this time and spin out. A strange look comes over Ulysses, some kind of mania. His eye twitches. Oh dear. Next time in this Call of Cthulhu adventure, our investigators search for the abducted Lady Florence and discover some secrets about Professor Later.